Hey everyone, this is Nikki, and I wanted to make this video to respond to a really great question I received on my Instagram yesterday, which was that someone shared that they want to have sex a lot more than their partner, and there's this libido difference, and it's getting in the way of their relationship. This is a really, really common situation that happens because we have our own libido based on our hormones, based on our age, based on our gender, based on our experiences. So much can impact the amount of sex we have and how often we want to have it and how aroused we are from day to day. And it's definitely something that you have to navigate in your relationship if there is a difference in libido. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to deal with, to find sort of outlets for that. So I would want to know, the first question I want to know is, how does your partner feel about their libido? Do they feel like it's a lower libido and it's something that is causing them anxiety or something that they're not happy with? Or do they feel like their libido is fine and maybe your libido is a little higher, or there's just a difference in libido to deal with? Because if it is a situation where they feel like their libido is lower than they want it to be, then I would recommend going to the doctor, because oftentimes, based on the medication that they might be on or hormonal differences, there are sort of some ways to combat that. However, if it's more about navigating the difference, I think that's what I find is most common when I work with folks, is how do we navigate this difference? So the first thing I would say is very important is to make sure that your partner never feels like you're pressuring them to have sex, because I think that's just about the least sexy thing, is when you feel like someone wants something from you and there becomes this pattern where you're always asking and they're always saying no, and you're both sort of feeling a little awkward about it, because obviously you only want to have sex with your partner when they want to have sex with you, right? So I would recommend sort of a good way to pause that, or just sort of pause that imbalance, is to have a situation where you tell your partner, hey, just so you know, like for the next couple months, I'm not going to ask you to have sex, but I'm receptive and interested. So why don't you let me know when you're in the mood? And that can help them get in touch with their sexuality and figure out when they want to have it without feeling this constant pressure that I think is really, really common when we have these libido differences in relationships. I would also say I would have a conversation with your partner about their fantasies and their desires, because sometimes, definitely not all the time, but in some situations, they might be more interested in having more sex if they were having the type of sex that they wanted. So maybe there's something that they think is missing from your sex life, or something that if they were to explore, it would make them more excited to have sex with you. I would also say, for some folks in this situation, opening up your relationship can be a possibility, because then it will get rid of that power thing where you're always wanting sex from your partner, because maybe you can get that outlet somewhere else but still receive the care and love and occasional sex from your partner. That could be an outlet, not always. I would also share that you should reframe the way we think about masturbation, because I think we often think about it as something that you do when your partner's not around and you're bored, but I really think it can be a beautiful and profound thing to explore. So you can explore your fantasies, get toys, watch porn, and mindfully masturbate, explore edging. There's so many different ways to explore pleasure with yourself and without your partner. So if maybe you expand your own sex life in that way, then you won't feel like you want it so much from your partner, and maybe you can even bring in some of what you learn about yourself to your partnered sex. So that can be a really good opportunity there to explore. But yeah, it's a bit of a bummer, and it is something that needs to be navigated, and it's not easy. It's one of the most common difficulties or issues that when I work with couples in my coaching practice, that folks come and sort of need to help navigating. So I'm always here for you if you want to book a session to discuss that in more details. And yeah, I'm happy I finally made this video. I feel like I've been putting off creating video content because I get really in my head about it. I was like, first I had a pimple, and then I was worried that I would say the wrong thing, or I need to think of the most profound, most eloquent thing to say, but I need to get more comfortable creating videos, and that is, hopefully this is part one of many. So please let me know if you enjoy it, if you share it. That would feel really good for me and help me be empowered, because I got so many great questions yesterday, and I would love to get to all of them. And I also want to show you where I'm recording this video from. So I'm currently at a reservoir at the top of a mountain in Beacon. So the climb made me want to seize the day. So here we are, making the first video, hopefully of many. So thank you for taking the time to listen. You can follow me on Instagram. Please share your questions with me. I'm really gonna try to get into answering more of these questions. And I also wrote an article about mismatched libidos that I'm gonna link below, because yes, I will. So thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for the great question. Have a great rest of your day.